Goggin. How are you doing this morning? And I wanted to talk to you a little bit about technology that you may have heard of. It may be something new to you. You may be wondering, should I try this? You also, maybe you're curious about the common mistakes using the technology LifeWave X39. And I started using the X39 right when it came, well, just a little bit after it came out, and it came out in 2018. And what this patch does is it taps into your body's wisdom. It increases a copper peptide in the body called GHKCU. You can look that up online. And when it increases this copper peptide called GHKCU, a lot of really cool things can start to happen in the body because GHKCU has been well researched and it's been shown to actually turn on basically younger genes in the body. And that's why people can have lots of different effects from having an elevated level of GHKCU in the body. So what are the common pitfalls that could happen? I'm going to go through that as I tell you a little bit more about GHKCU and how the patch, the LifeWave X39 patch, may be something worth adding to what you're doing right now. Now, if you already feel awesome and you feel like you have your health fully dialed in, there's no complaints. Even if you have no complaints, could there be a reason to try it? Well, I guess only if you want to do the anti-aging thing. I mean, rejuvenation and anti-aging is very popular, and new technology is coming out all the time. I feel like if we can keep ourselves in as well tuned as possible, we may be able to utilize technologies that come along in the next 10 to 20, 30 years that will allow us to maybe regain a function of that joint, maybe be able to regrow cartilage in that knee. And if if your knee's already shot to hell, you might not be able to take advantage of this. From my point of view, I'm 57. I want to do everything I can to preserve what's happening in my body so that when that technology comes out, I'm going to be able to take advantage of it. But that said, if you guys are feeling awesome, you don't have any pain, you aren't tired, then it's harder to see an effect of the X39 because what it does is if you're feeling great, how are you going to feel better? So from me, I definitely walk the line of some days I feel great, some days not great. And I know when I'm not when something happens, I forget to put on the patch. So it really helps me on a day-to-day basis. And if you have something in your body that you want to feel better, well, then it's definitely worth it to try because this is something that does not give any medication. It is only using light. So let's talk a little bit about what it is so you can understand a little bit better about how this might help you. And oh my gosh, where's my PowerPoint? Here it is. So how can we reduce symptoms and increase energy using the new medicine? And that's energetic medicine. I'm a family doctor and a functional medicine doctor. Right now, I'm doing a lot of thyroid work, a lot of detox, and hormone replacement, and that sort of thing. And what I see is that there's new information that people don't have access to because basically your family doctor doesn't have access to these new ideas. And how we're going to treat people in the future is with energetics. And I felt this way when I got sick. I got super sick. Had no energy. I could not exercise. And this technology helped me get better, right? So as a functional medicine doctor, I'm looking for the ways with the least side effects to get me better. I had a big mold exposure and it just took me out. It took my brain out, took my body out. Um, and what we want to do is turn good genes on, turn bad genes off. And that's what we're talking about. One thing that was affecting me was I had a lot of pain in my feet. And that was the first thing that I noticed as an improvement in pain. And I didn't want to be taking ibuprofen and Tylenol because I know that they have side effects and they're going to create problems for the long run if you use a lot of NSAIDs, nonsteroidals, that sort of thing, Tylenol, ibuprofen. And in medical school, we were kind of taught DNA was the destiny of, whatever you had in your DNA was what was going to create a problem. We understand that is just not true, right? What you choose to do, expose yourself to, activity, even your thoughts, meditation can change gene expression. So functional medicine, we know to encourage people to do the things that will turn on good genes. And that is stuff like exercising. If exercise wasn't a pill, oh my gosh, it would be the most powerful drug for longevity and also reversing chronic disease. Of course, sleep is so important too. Nutrition, eating well, eating the rainbow, trying to eat clean food, preferably without pesticides, and really as close to the earth as possible, and managing your stress. I mean, that's sort of the core of functional medicine, right? And detox too. But sometimes you don't even feel well enough to do that. I put this in here because I wanted to remind myself to tell you cold showers can increase your energy. They can increase your cognitive capacity. Like if you turn your shower cold in the morning, you're going to get 4 hours of improved cognition after that cold shower. So these ways that we can change gene expression in the moment, and it may be that using these new technologies, we're going to shift the epigenetics of which genes are expressed. Epigenetics is sort of the study of things that are added onto DNA, little molecules that make the DNA either be expressed or not expressed, right? So we want younger genes expressed. And when we can change those instructions, we can improve energy, we can improve a lot of symptoms, people can feel a lot better. And that was my experience, is that in order to get myself feeling well, I needed to change those instructions. And when we're trying to heal, we need raw materials, right? You got to have the nutrition. We want to lower inflammation, and the ability to create new tissues requires some, mechanical things in your body to be working. Things like, you to be making stem cells, having that reduction in inflammation. And as those universal cells, the stem cells that decline every year as we age, that's really what we want to try and increase in the body, in addition to giving your body the raw materials. And we know that light can help improve the instructions in the body. And that's how the X39 works, is improving those instructions. The mechanisms of how light therapy works have been pretty well worked out to a certain degree. We know light can improve mitochondrial production. And we also see that when you use certain specific wavelengths of light, you can change protein production. And you may have had light used dermatology, or, of course, we're putting light on the face for certain anti-aging effects, and using light for pain reduction. But you don't, now we understand that you can use simple things at home that can help you optimize energy flow and make a difference in how you're feeling. So this is the patch that I put on my body. Somebody brought it to me and said their pain got better. I looked at it and it didn't make sense to me. I'm like, how could this possibly work? And so that's the big first pitfall, is that somebody looks at it and says, this is impossible, so I'm not going to try it. Um, so the fact is that there is a clear physical basis for why this can work. And if you don't fully understand that light makes chemical changes in the body, that's okay. The question is it worth a try if you're having problems? I mean, I think that's the biggest pitfall I see, is that somebody's like, I can't understand how it works, so I'm not even going to try it. Well, when you have very few side effects, um, then it is worth giving a try when you have like a money back guarantee. So that is one nice thing about the company does. They give a money back guarantee. And so the first pitfall would be not trying it at all. And then to understand how it works, basically, when you put the patch on your body, it reflects back a specific wavelength to you. And that specific wavelength causes the chemical changes in the body at the systemic level. We see a nice picture of this horsey who used patches for 6 months. And that's not a placebo effect. Something real happened to that horse. And so for people who are like, oh, it's just because you put a patch on, this proves that. And there are clinical double-blind studies proving chemical changes in the body when somebody applies light and applies the X39 patch in specific. This is David Schmidt. He's the guy who invented it all. I want to give him homage because honestly, he changed my life. I feel like these turned my health around from my time when I, just thought everything was downhill from there. So when I'm not feeling good, I will reach for one of these patches. The other thing is that when we play the X39, the second thing I see, somebody decides to try it, you have to use it long enough. If you don't use it long enough, and in some people that is a short period of time, but in other people's it takes a few months. So I would suggest at least a 3-month try, and you have that 90-day money back guarantee when you try it. So people see improvement in energy, strength, stamina, improvement in pain, fine lines and wrinkles get better. It actually does turn on younger genes because of elevating the copper peptide. Here's a few pictures. You can see people look different, and that's nice. That's from the elevation in that copper peptide, changes fine lines and wrinkles. And it's just nice to see people not just looking younger, but feeling younger. This is a bruise that improved over 5 days, though it was anticipated to take several weeks to get better after an angiogram. Um, I'm flipping through this quick. It is available all over the world. If you are interested in trying this or learning more, reach out to the person that had you watch this video. It is a unique product. There's nothing else like it. People might say they have patches, but there's nothing else like the X39. It is truly, truly unique, which is very exciting for those of us who are sharing the technology because there's nobody else that's got what we got. And it is a business as well, right? I'm an independent distributor. They make it easy. Simply share the information and have people give it a try with that money back guarantee. And it's quite easy to help people feel better faster, which is like, that's what we want. We all want to feel good. We want to stay young. We want to stay energized. Um, and the company has incredible growth because of this X39 patch, and now it is a worldwide company. How can you get it? $5 a day retail, but I do not suggest people pay retail. It is $3.33 a day to activate those stem cells using a patch that can increase a copper peptide. And should you give it a try? So let's talk about a couple other pitfalls that we see when people okay, first pitfall I say is if you don't feel good, not giving it a try. And the second pitfall I'd say is not using it long enough to see that you get a response. The third pitfall, not having enough hydration. Hydration is critical. And it's because this affects the energy fields in the body. And the hydration supplies some of that charge, some of the voltage that we need to make changes in our more subtle energetics in the body. The other thing is you have to have adequate copper in the body, and this is easily checked. Many people, if, for instance, they take a lot of zinc, they might not have quite enough copper because those two are on a teeter-totter. They share a transporter, so making sure that you have adequate copper. It's an easy, simple blood test that you can do with your family doctor. And just know that tracking, that's the last thing. You must track what's going on. Nobody remembers how they felt last month. I mean, for sure, not even last week. So you need to track how you're feeling so that you will know when changes happen. So reach out to whoever asked you to check out this video, and hopefully that's helpful to you. And I'll look forward to seeing you on the next one. All right. Have an awesome day, you guys. Below, there's information about how you can reach me.